Interesting having a father who's a man who's a father and an icon. They're not really the same thing. And so when I think about what the celebration is about personally, it might be a little different than what it's about in the world. There is a poem, it's not mine, it's written by Mary Oliver, and it's called The Journey. And the thing about this poem that my dad is all about is like, live your life magnificently, live your life fully. Live your life as you're the one living your life. And he's incredible because he has endured through a lot of political, social unrest, and yet he's kept this vision about what it means to have a just, what it means to have a fair, what it means to have a dynamic life. It's kind of amazing. And so this poem sort of says that. I'm going to read it. Can you hear me?
Can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Good God. Yes.
That's right. Good God. One day, she says, one day you finally knew what you had to do and began, though the voices around you kept shouting their bad advice. Isn't that my father? You know, you don't have to listen to all that shit. Though the whole house began to tremble and you felt the old tug at your ankles, mend my life, each voice cried. But you didn't stop. You knew what you had to do. Though the wind pried with its stiff fingers at the very foundations, though their melancholy was terrible, it was already late enough, and a wild night and the road full of fallen branches and stones. But little by little, as you left their voices behind, the stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds, and there was a new voice, which you slowly recognized as your own, that kept you company as you strode deeper and deeper into the world, determined to do the only thing you could do, determined to save the only life you could save. It was beautiful, and it really, to me, bridges this personal and public worlds that we live in, that we have responsibilities to. So my dad, I think, is kind of the best agent and representative of those kinds of worlds, especially with these photos that capture a part of life most of us are not part of, which is kind of the getting along. I mean, this has kind of become a world of autonomy, independence. What can I get? What's the best way to live the fullest life? You know, that kind of thing. But in these photos, this was a time I sort of tasted it a little bit when I was born in projects. It was a time when mixing was really organic. It wasn't a political act. It just was happening. It's like eating and digesting and metabolism. So, to you pops, even though sometimes it's like looking at the wrong end of the telescope, I love you and we love you, and this is a fine 98th.
Yeah, let's sing it. We're going to sing.
Let's do
the happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joe. Happy birthday to you.
Can I say just a brief little something? It's not even going to take 3 minutes, but I do ask all flashers to not flash. I have epilepsy, and I'm not going to be flashed at. I'm just going to say, good. I'm just going to say, and Joe has heard me say this before, but it's important to say it in front of witnesses. The human race has done horrendous things collectively and individually, especially of late. And if it were on some kind of cosmic trial for its right to continue to exist, the most powerful exhibit in our defense that I know of is Joe's photography. And Joe's life is itself a powerful exhibit in the defense of everything that should make us human. Thank you, Joe, for 98 years. Thank you.